Good evening, everyone. We are so happy and grateful now that you are part of this Thursday night class. I am Christina Campbell, nationally registered certified master aromatherapist. We were just talking about that. And we are going to teach you tonight about a few things. I want to introduce Sandy Roush. Sandy, say hello.
Hey.
That's all she's saying.
Everybody.
She's going to be an innocent bystander. And we have Dana Christensen. Where are you, Dana?
Hey.
Hey.
I am a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, and I am currently studying to be a naturopathic doctor.
Yes, and we're so excited for her.
Yes.
So, you know, one of the things that just comes to my mind before we get started is when we set these goals for ourselves and we do the work, then we get the reward. And what a reward it was in 2008 when I graduated with a master aromatherapist diploma. It took me 3 solid years, and I worked really hard. And I was telling Dana, you know, you just got to set the time aside. And that's one of her goals. And many of Sandy's goals. Sandy is a vibrational raindrop technician.
An instructor.
Instructor, yeah, she's a certified instructor. And oh my gosh, if you've never had a vibrational raindrop and you want an opportunity to get one, if you're in this area, you need to sign up for one because they are phenomenal. If you want to learn how to do them, contact Sandy maybe on the side. Sandy, I'm going to ask you to kind of monitor the chat tonight, if you would.
I'll do that.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. But let's get started because we have a lot to cover. We don't know how much we're going to cover tonight. We're going to go about 50 minutes. And we're going to talk first about cold market. But the thing that I really thought was a great quote tonight by John Maxwell was that all friendships, whether they're brand new friendships that you meet from a cold market meeting or a warm market that you've known since high school, all friendships need cultivation. Just like you have to cultivate your garden once you plant the seeds, you have to make sure the weeds are pulled. You have to make sure that you're pulling those squash off before they're getting way too big. You have to cultivate your garden. You have to tend to it. And we need to tend to our relationships and our friendships that we gain through our Young Living business. I want to talk to you a little bit about cold market because it's been a very, very long time since I've had anyone in my warm market. When you first come into Young Living and you first start a business in Young Living, you will go through your warm market very quickly. You'll be done with your warm market in less than a year if you're doing the steps that you need to be doing, making your lists, contacting at least 2 to 10 people a day, getting relationships, cultivating relationships, and then pretty soon that 100 list is not going to be warm market anymore. What you need to do is that warm market list that you started when you first came into Young Living, you keep adding to that. You keep adding things like the next person you met. If you met them in the grocery store at the checkout lane, if you met them in your garage because they were dropping off some stuff.
What is that?
Somebody is not muted. I found it. It was K88. Okay. So, oh, there's somebody else.
Hold on.
Muted.
I gotta figure out where is it at.
Okay, I found it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to give you an example. A warm market is made up of the people that you already know or people your friends know, but a cold market is everyone else. You don't know these people. You've never met these people. But it only takes one conversation to turn a cold market into a warm one. And I'm going to give you a very recent example of this. So a guy came over and he's been working on our windows because we had a lot of hail damage, and he's been working on our fascia and our gutters and all that stuff that was damaged by hail. And he came over, and Kenneth wasn't here, and he's dropping off these screens, and his hand was all swollen. And he said that he had gotten stung by a bee. And I said, well, let me go get something for you. So I got the CBD muscle rub, only because it was right there on the counter. We know that there are many oils that would work very effectively for bee stings, one of them being purification. But I grabbed the CBD oil, and all he said was, I rubbed it on his hand, and all he said was, I want some of that. Well, we've been trying to connect, and it's been probably a week and a half. I had put him in my texting program, Project Edification, and I had texted some things because he mentioned that he was really interested in any products that would help him with his workouts, like protein powder or a multivitamin supplement, and that he wanted the CBD oil. So we finally got together today. He put in a 316 PV order. So he ordered a starter kit. He actually ordered the Ningxia Red starter kit, and he added products to it. And he said, I want to be able to get these every month. He said that to me. And I said, well, we have the perfect thing for you. You get your wellness box every month, essential rewards every month. And he was ecstatic. He was ecstatic. This was a prime example of a cold market person. You have to reach out to that person you don't know and put out the energy, put out the love, put out the kindness, and it will come back to you. So unless you have experience at cold marketing, you might not be as successful initially, and I'll tell you why. It's because you don't feel confident. And if that's the truth, then what do we have to work on? Feeling confident. Absolutely, Erica. I saw your lips moving. Feeling confident. How do we go about feeling confident? Knowing that we have the ability within us instead of being afraid. What are you afraid of? What's the worst thing that could happen? Oh, I don't want any of those oils. I don't like the smell of those oils. I keep those oils away from me. But if you, and don't even entertain that thought, because what you want to do is you want to have pure intention and pure conviction that you know that what we have, everybody needs. Everybody needs. So don't fall into the pitfall of not feeling confident or having fear. Okay, number one, posting about sales and products on your Facebook page. We talked a little bit about this last week. Frankly, no one really cares. We need to cultivate friendships. We need personal connection. I spoke to Dwayne. He responded. He signed up. And we did talk about some of this stuff last week, Sandy. I think you're right. So focus on your favorite oil or product. Tell people how you feel when you use it. You know, attach emotion to it. If it makes you happy, relaxed, grounded, energized, alert. Oh yeah, I got him on the Ningxia Red starter kit, and he couldn't wait to start on nitro. So, you know, I told him about nitro, and we told him about how my husband uses it for mental clarity. Okay, so we want to talk to you about forming relationships. And I think, you know, I'm going to ask Dana to jump in here in a few minutes because I know that she has her perspective too, which is really awesome. But this is a way that you can remember how to approach people. How many have heard of this? If you've heard of this, raise your hand. Form. Okay, so a few people have heard of form. All right, good. So form stands for, the F is for family, the O is for occupation, the R is for recreation, and the M is for motivation or your message. Simply put, these are the types of questions and methods of framing conversations so that you can learn more about the other person. So I was asking Dwayne while I was rubbing his hand and we were having a conversation. I had heard that he had a girlfriend, and I said she might be interested in these oils. So now his girlfriend wants to sign up under him. And his baby's mama, who he's not with, he's concerned about her health, so he wants to sign her up, and he wants to pay for her to get a monthly shipment. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's great. Find out what their occupation was. Well, he's the business owner of Midwest Interior and Exterior Incorporated, I guess. So, you know, I know what he does. What is his recreation? He loves to work out, but he works a lot. And what is his motivation? He knows that he's not getting any younger. He's 56 years old, and he knows he's not getting any younger. So simply put, these are the types of questions and methods of framing our conversations so that we can learn more about the person. If you've just come on, yeah, please mute yourself. Thank you. So it's all about them. It's finding out about them, getting to know them, and they will learn to trust you, and you will then have a new friend. Always, always listen with intent, because what they have to say is far. If you are coming in and you have not muted yourself, go ahead and mute yourself. What they have to say is far more important than what you are thinking about saying to them. Because the only way that you can respond to them is by really, really knowing what it is that they want, who they are, what they're about. And I believe that listening is becoming a lost art. Actually learn to repeat back to them the important points that they're sharing. If they say something like, well, and I'm going to give you this example again. So he says, I've got all kinds of CBD at my house. I bought it from the grocery store. I bought it from the gas station. And I let him talk about it. He said, I can't tell you how many bottles I have of it, and it doesn't do any good. And I said, more importantly, Dwayne, I said, it could have heavy metals and toxic chemicals in it. You don't know where this has come from. And that's the beauty of Young Living CBD, is that it is pure and it is tested. It goes through stringent tests so that we provide you with the best oil possible. And he was like, sign me up, I'll be back. I mean, that day he gave me his credit card, his address, his phone number, but I wanted to sit down with him, and I wanted to create a plan with him, and I wanted to get him on wholesale membership. So that's why we kind of played phone tag for a little while, and then he had the time to come over. So another thing that, do we want to cover form a little bit more? Yeah, family, go ahead, Dana.
One thing I could say about form, and I'm gonna catch that thought again because I had it. I was thrown off. I know, right? Let's see. What was I gonna say about that? It was really cool too.
I bet it was. Well, some of the questions that you might want to ask, there's a bunch of questions in the Oil Share Repeat book. If you don't have that book, like, where are you from? What brought you to the area? Actually, I found out that Dwayne was from California originally, but that he has been here in Mascoutah for quite a while now. What is it like being the owner of your own business? And one of the things I found out about Dwayne is that he had a really soft heart. that he in his business is very much like we are in our business, in that he is so concerned about his workers. He wants to make sure that he has enough work for them so that they have a decent paycheck so that they can take care of their family. And I thought, what a soft-hearted guy that is. Have you thought of it, Dana?
Yeah, I thought about it because when you really get good at listening to people, you don't have to worry about how am I going to fit my Young Living opportunity or my Young Living products into this conversation. It's not going to be weird because you're going to ask enough questions that eventually they're going to tell you exactly what their pain points are and what problems that they have in their life if you ask enough questions. And so just get really good at listening and trying to remember exactly what they said as if you're trying to pass a test and get an A. Like, there's nothing more important to you at that moment than that person that you're listening to. There's nobody else in this whole world is as important as who you're connecting with at that minute. And if you go into it with the honor and respect of that and treat their time as such, and you're not checking your phone and making sure that, somebody else didn't contact you, you got to really use your body language and be present with them if you're in person. I think you'll find that it's very easy to usher in, that you might have some solutions for them once they get to their problem. Just keep asking questions until they finally tell you that there's something that they, have an issue with.
I love that, Dana. And another thing is, we get so enthusiastic about Young Living. We love it so much, and we've used so many of the products that our first opportunity to tell somebody, we end up what we call vomiting on that person. We're trying to sell them. Mm-hmm. And I'm here to tell you, get to know them. Get to know them and you will sell them. But you can't sell them and then expect that, because they don't trust you. They don't know you. And if they're going to start giving information like, here's a couple of other questions. So, do you have a goal? I asked Dwayne, what is his goal for his business today? You just questions, get them thinking. Okay, so let's cover color personality for a little bit. We're not going to get into this in depth. You can get the book Full Spectrum by Jacob Adamo. You can go to jacobadamo.com and take the quiz. Can you see that at the bottom of the screen there? Mm-hmm. And it will tell you what colors you are. And what this does for us is it helps us to determine how to approach people. So, for example, if you're red, you are a pretty driven person. If you are, or maybe I should say, if you're driven, you're what they would consider red, really driven. Dana, what other attributes go with red?
Red, they don't want to chit chat. They want to get right to the point. I started out a consult today and I was trying to explain the whole report line by line. And she's like, can you just explain to me what this all means? And I'm like, okay, I'm getting to that. That's next. And I'm like, wow, she's a red. Red don't have time for chit chat. They want to get right to the point. And if you get that out of the conversation, go with it. Just give them exactly what they want.
Yes. Okay, so green are people like me. We are very attention to detail oriented. We like to have everything dress in order, and we're analytical. We remember numbers. I know that you probably you may not even know that about me, but I will tell you statistics and numbers, that have been in here, and I'm going to die with them in here because they're stuck. Green wants to know all the facts. I want to know where it came from, how much, where is the vegan vitamin D coming from? Because vitamin D is animal based, and now we have a vitamin D that's a vegan vitamin D. So I'm going to do the research, and I found out that it was from a lichen, or what do you call that? Like a moss.
Rock moss.
Rock moss, yeah. And that it's very high in vitamin D3. And that our vitamin D also has Melissa oil in it and lime oil in it. You see how I remember this stuff? And our vitamin D just came out. But it's because I'm very detail oriented. I've got to know all the facts. Do you have any other thing to say about green people?
Green people love Excel. They love spreadsheets. They love numbers. They love data. They love analyzing data. They feel in control when they can look at their data. So I learned that from my green friends because I don't have 1 ounce of green in this body. If I never see another Excel spreadsheet again, as long as I live, it will be fine.
But I will tell you that unless your person is green, do not bore the other 3 colors with all of the facts that, you know, Ningxia wolfberry is grown in the Yellow River Valley of in Ningxia, China. They could give a rep. They really don't care. All they want to know is, does it give me energy? Will it make me feel better? You know, don't give me all the details. Yellow, on the other hand, yellow just wants to help. They are the helpers of the world. They will help so much that they will give their oils away rather than sign somebody up with a starter kit. And I've known people who have given away many starter kits over the years, you know, as far as the number of oils that they've given away, just because they're helpers. So when you have somebody who says, oh, I love to give my time at the shelter, and I love visiting the ladies at the nursing home and giving them foot massages and all of that, that's a helper. What else do you know about yellow, Dana?
Yellows are the ones that are baking brownies to bring to your classes for you. They're the ones that are going to carry the boxes in for you and help set up your table. And they might come to every class and every event and help you, but they may not ever sign anybody up if they don't have a little bit of red.
Yeah, they need a little bit of red.
But I love my yellows. My mother's a yellow.
So they find meaning in helping. So when you're talking the business with a yellow person, you want to really hone in on all of the people that they can benefit, that they can help, that they can, you know, this is what they're focused on. And then we have the blue people. And the blue people just want to have fun. They don't care about anything else but having fun. So could we have a starter kit party? And can we, you know, can I buy a new car, a blue car with my money that I make from Young Living? They just want to have fun. They want to party all the time. They want to have get-togethers. They just want to have fun.
They want to go to Bora Bora.
They want to go to Bora Bora. They know that that's going to be fun.
They're the ones that are doing the dance-off contest at the convention, you know, or they're the ones that are cracking jokes in the Zoom calls. I am actually 33% red, 33% yellow, and 33% blue, and 1% green. So I'm a little bit of all those natures, but I really like my blue, and I try to embrace my blue so that I have a lot of fun.
So again, if you want to know people better, this is just kind of an analysis that you can do on yourself, and you'll learn a little bit more if you buy the book Full Spectrum, but take the quiz at jacobadamo.com. All right, so I was talking earlier about listening and asking the form questions, right? When you do start to respond and you start answering their questions, you're going to want to educate with intent. This is the time that you're going to educate your friend on the importance of making a commitment to their health, if they haven't already convinced you that that's why they're sitting in your kitchen. Because sometimes that happens. They're just saying, my health is important. I don't care how much, you know, I want it every month. This is what I want to do. And I'm going to start it as soon as my kit comes. That's commitment. But if there is an area that they're not fully grasping, or you're not fully grasping from them, ask them to tell you more. Have them dive a little deeper, dig a little deeper. You can actually ask them, would you mind expanding on how you feel about making a commitment to your health? Is this something that you've been wanting for a long time? Or, is it your weight that's causing you to have these thoughts? And if they've been specific about their health and wellness concerns, you want to educate them by telling them, are you aware, or asking them, are you aware that it takes 90 days for the cells of the body to restore themselves? Our bodies get out of balance over a lifetime, and it takes a long-term commitment to rebuild and restore our health. And I would love to help you with your health goals and to support you in meeting those goals. So, you want to do this? Are you willing to commit to your health? And this is where you want to ask for help if you don't feel comfortable with this yet. If you're just starting out with cold market and you're getting to know them and you're asking these questions and you really feel incompetent, unconfident, I really want you to work on your self-esteem, but bring in your, immediate upline. And what if she's a good leader, she'll tell you that she'll be on the call. She wants you to do the talking, and then she will help you. She's not going to do it for you. This is what I want you to understand. We are not here to build your business for you, but we are here to guide you until you feel comfortable and confident that you can do this on your own. So here are some possible responses that your friend might give. I really haven't thought about making a commitment to my health. And at that point, you're going to reaffirm to them what a valuable person they are and how powerful it is for them to take responsibility for their health. This is what you want. You want people on your team that are taking responsibility for their health. You don't want to have to spoon feed them their pure protein or their Balance Complete. If they say, yeah, I got about $200 that I could invest in my health a month, you just reiterate that. That's fabulous. That's fantastic. So based on what I've learned about your health and really where you want to go, I think I have a program in mind that I believe will allow you to get to experience great results. And you can say the same thing if they say, well, I have $150 a month to invest, or I have $100 a month to invest. But unless you ask the question, are you aware that it takes time for your body to get out of balance and that you need to have a long-term commitment, and are you willing to commit? You'll never get to this part. Ask them the question and don't be afraid. What is the worst thing they can say? No, I'm not going to commit to my health. I mean, who says that? Now, if they say that they only have $50 a month to commit to their health, then I'm going to tell them, I honor you for being willing to invest in your health. However, it has taken a lifetime for your health to get out of balance, and $50 a month, honestly, is not going to turn it around. But if I can show you that you have another $50 somewhere in your kitchen, under your bathroom sink, in your medicine chest, would you be willing to transfer the money that you spend on those products onto things that would be more life-giving, more health-supporting? Let's look at the toothpaste you're using, the mouthwash, the dental floss, the chemical disinfectant sprays, the cleaning products, the room deodorizers, the antibacterial soaps, the hand sanitizers, the GNC supplements that they might be spending money on, the hair care products, and all the other things. They could be supporting their health with non-chemical, organic, natural things. And that $50 is right there. If they quit drinking soda, they'd probably have $50 more a week. If they quit drinking designer coffees, for what is it? $4 a pop for Starbucks. I mean, that's a minimum. That's if you're not getting the caramelized, fluffy wheelie stuff. So they got money. They just haven't thought about where they could shift and allocate it to their health. Acknowledge what they say and respond. If I heard you correctly, based on our conversation, your most pressing health concern is, and then maybe it's their weight, maybe it's toxic chemicals in their home, whatever their health concerns are, reiterate those back to them and ask them if that's correct. And let me ask you then, do you currently have a budget in mind and that you're willing to invest? So these are the questions that we're asking. So once they've committed to their health, then we say, are you ready to get started? Let's get a wholesale account and your health plan put together, which will include a starter kit. Pick the starter kit that's going to address their concern. Today, it was a Ningxia Red starter kit. It's not always an oils kit, folks. It could be a thieves kit. It could be a CBD kit. If they're suffering from a lot of pain, CBD is a really great way to start. Second, let's take a look at the recommendations that will fit your needs and increase your nutritional health. At this point, you can talk about Ningxia Red. And then once you get them set up, you ask them to please, please, please call me as soon as you receive your first wellness box, and let us discuss the products together so that you know what you can do and how to use them. All right, so that was pretty much that was cold market in general, and getting to know people and asking them the right questions. Right now, Dana is gonna tell you about running a workshop.
Yeah, so running a workshop, leading an event doesn't have to be intimidating. You just follow a few steps. So know who's hosting the event, whether it is you or someone else, or if it is someone else, have a hostess gift for them, maybe flowers, a sample bottle of products, what I usually do, or even a small vitality oil. And I always give that to them in the presence of everyone else so that they're encouraged to want to have their own workshop or event. Create a guest list. Before the event, you would help the hostess to create a list of the people that she would like to invite. And I always encourage, a lot of people just send Facebook invitations and make a Facebook event. It's very impersonal. And I know I get invited to stuff that I don't even know the people, and it doesn't have a personal message attached to it. So I try to help them make their list and really contact those people personally somehow. At least if you're going to send them a Facebook message, instant message, make it personal of some sort so they know that you don't have a copy and paste message. And then that's important because the guest list, everybody's not going to show up. So if you invite 50 people and you get 7 or 8, that's great. And then you have that list for the next one that you can invite them to for another workshop, or invite them to a one-on-one. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get to make it. Would you like to get together for coffee? I'll buy, so something like that. Write a description that explains how the event will fill a need that they have, not necessarily learn all about oils. Maybe they don't care about oils. Why would they care about oils? Or, make a description that fits a need, like learn how to get more energy without, you get up in the morning and feel full of life, or whatever. How the magic potion I use to keep my skin looking like I'm 20, whatever. Something that they want. And so invite those people on your list at least 2 weeks before the event, and ask the other members of your organization to show up at your workshop. It always helps to have people at your classes who have experience, because it's number one, it's social proof. It's people looking at other people and saying, oh, she's not just telling me this person's here and saying it's true. So even if they're already signed up in Young Living with somebody else, I don't care, bring them. Show up, because as long as you're not going to try to take enrollments from me, I love having other people there. And I always learn something at every class. And because I say that, I do. Even if I'm going to a brand new class with people that don't know anything about oils, I will learn something that I didn't know at that class. It's always fun. All right, follow through individually with your guests. Understand that some people won't respond. Some may plan on attending and cancel. I mean, even at the last minute. Typically, you get 10 to 20% of your list that actually attend. But it takes personal follow-up instead of passive copy and paste stuff. That doesn't work. You have to call them. You have to call them like at 3 o'clock. Hey, I hope that you're coming tonight. I got, you know, the special drink that I know that you like, or I have these cookies that I remember that you like, or whatever. Or are you bringing your kid because, you know, our kids can play together? Or, you know, if that's a concern, don't worry about it. Bring them on and I'll hook them up with the iPad or whatever. Like, just whatever you think their concerns might be, try to head that off and help them feel comfortable and feel like, you know, maybe they're not going to get supper. Make sure they got a snack or something that's available if they're going to have to skip supper to come to your class. So just stuff like that. Create and practice your script. I would say your outline. We don't really want a script. We just want to outline. You need to know, you need to share from your heart. You don't need to read from a list. So if you're talking about lemon oil, you really don't need to have a script about lemon oil. You need to share with them a personal experience that you love about lemon oil. And maybe you have a little handout that says different uses of lemon oil. And I would say, hey, from that list, what is one thing that you think you might use lemon oil for? And then let them tell you. So did you want to say something, Chris?
No.
Oh.
No.
You look like you're
listening intently.
I got your attention. That's awesome. So just use an outline. That way you don't get all fumbled up with the words and go, I don't remember where I was at and I'm really nervous. It won't show if you're just sharing from your experience. I remember my first class. This lady, I had been teaching some classes like from people that I didn't know, cold market. And this lady had contacted me and she's like, how do I learn more about these oils? And I'm like, well, I do home parties. And she's like, you do? And I said, yeah, you got some friends that would like to know too? And she's like, probably. And I'm like, well, let's get together. Let's have a party. I never did one home party before. She had 9 friends at her living room and I brought my starter kit and I just passed around every oil and told them what it was good for and what I used it for. 6 of them enrolled and that was 11 years ago. And 2 of them are silver. So, you know,
Whoa.
They're still on essential rewards, most of them. So, or all of them. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. So follow through with your guests to make sure that they come. All right. Follow through with guests in the 1 to 2 days leading up to the event. So you kind of want to, you know, make sure that they remember your event because they got a lot going on, especially if they've got kids or husbands or jobs. And show up to your workshop 30 to 60 minutes early. And I learned the hard way. My first class, I made 5 trips back and forth to my car to bring stuff in, and I was 6 months pregnant, but I looked like I was 9. So at any rate, I learned at that point when I was putting all that stuff back in the car, because I didn't need to take all the books in. Like people wanted a book, I really could go get it. I take a 31 bag and everything I need for that meeting's in that 31 bag. And if it don't fit, it don't go. You know, I'm sorry. Usually the hostess is a member and will have their diffuser already. Do I really need another one? No, I don't. Just make sure she's got her stuff there. And you take your bottles that are open to pass around so you don't have to ask her to use hers. And yeah, make it easy on yourself. So do that. All right. Form your guests as they enter. Ask them questions, you know. What do you do for a living?
Mm-hmm.
You know, do you have children? What is it what do you like to do for fun? Teach, limiting your talk to 30 to 45 minutes. If you're asking questions and you're getting interaction and people aren't getting bored, they're really listening intently, that's your cue you can keep on going. And sometimes they'll say, hey, are you guys okay with this? Do you want to take a break? Are you good? You want me to, you know, we can take it into the kitchen and I can answer questions one-on-one. So just kind of see how it's going with everybody. They may have so many questions that you talk for 2 hours. I don't know. I've had that. Let's see. End with a strong close. I had somebody the other day that she is afraid to ask people to buy the kit, so she keeps having conversations for like 6 months. She's not closing. Closing is asking them to buy the kit. And so I had to connect it back to her. Why? Tell me why you're doing the business. Why does this matter? And I said, okay, so you want to help them with XYZ. How are you going to help them? Well, what's your tool to help them? Young Living. And I said, okay. I said, can you help them if they don't have the oils in their hand? Well, no. Can you fulfill your God-given purpose if they don't have the product to work with? Well, no. I said, okay, now are you afraid to ask them to buy the kit? Because if you've done all this educating and getting them to the point where they know all this stuff and you don't ask them to buy the kit, tell them what a great deal this kit is. My goodness, they get a diffuser with a year warranty that has all these fancy features, and it'll put it in the air so everybody in their family can benefit from it. And, maybe keep them from missing days of school, missing days of work, from having to be stuck on the couch because their back's out. I mean, all this potential in this one little kit for only $165. If I miss a day's work, that could easily cost me $165 to miss a day's work. And so you have to really come at it from understanding the value and not being afraid to say, hey, and I will tell them up front, hey, this is the starter kit that Young Living has. They put this together because all of these products are things that everyone will use, most likely. These are the most common things that will fix the greatest amount of things for the least money. And we put it together for you just so that you can have a really good experience when you get started. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And it's only $165. Get it out of the way when you start. Then the whole time they're not going, wow, I really like that, but I wonder if that's expensive. I heard these things are really expensive. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. They got this talk in their head and they're not listening to you because of this chitter chatter about their belief that this stuff is expensive because, somebody they work with told them that they could never afford that. What? Get it over with. Get it out in the open. Share your belief. Share how has it impacted you? How's it impacted you financially? How has it changed my family's life that I don't have to go punch a clock somewhere and work on somebody else's schedule? I work on mine. How has that changed my life? I can't even put a value on that. So I got on all of that out of closing.
That was great.
At any rate, so follow through with each guest consistently. You want to send them a thank you note or give them a phone call and say, hey, thanks for coming. Even if they didn't buy anything, you still want to keep, find out what did you like best about what you heard. You're still following up and trying and bringing them in, because if they haven't bought in yet, they just need more information. You just haven't told them what they needed to hear. And so because they came and you're following up and thanking them for coming, that gives you an opportunity to ask more questions and find out what their pain point is. And another thing I wanted to talk about, and you might want to talk about this, Christina, is edification.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I always, if I have the hostess, I always talk her up to the people that are there because they may know her, but they may not. There may be something about her that they don't know that's really special that I see in her. And I want to make sure that they know that. And sometimes I even pick people out of my team and go on Facebook and say, you know what, this is Angela, and she has been a massage therapist for 25 years. And she helped me so much with XYZ. And she's always there for her people whenever they have a question or have a need. And just making them, just edifying them and helping them to look good to other people. So what do you think about that?
Exactly. The thing about edification is that it's kind of like third party referral. It's, I believe in this person. And of course, then that gives that person confidence. And the people who are in your class will say, oh, well, if Shelley trusts her grandmother, then her grandmother must be okay, and all of a sudden you've got more trust in that group. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So even if you don't feel confident yourself, you can be confident in your leader. You know, one of the questions that we might not have answered, Dana, is why would we have a workshop in the first place? You know, with COVID and, you know, social distancing and everything, we've never really had to think about that in the past. So can you elaborate any about why we would have a workshop?
Well, the oils will impact a person greatly if they just get in their presence. So Mary Young's always told us that the oils do all the talking, that you don't even have to really know exactly what to say. When you hand that bottle to somebody and they take it from you, it's going to speak to them. And I know that we do this a lot. Christina, Sandy, and I, we do a lot of not knowing exactly what we're going to say. And we just allow what we're inspired to say come through. And I do that when I'm working one-on-one with people. And when I pick an oil to share with them, it's because I'm not analyzing what oil they need. I'm letting my intuition guide me in what oil they need. And usually it's very impactful for them. And when they smell it, they will have, I had one lady that I was at a party somewhere at the VFW or something, and she had had her ear clogged up for a couple of weeks. And I let her smell my thieves. I did like this across the table, and she smelled it. And we went on talking about something else. And a couple days later, she contacted me because she said, whatever that thieves that you let me smell, she said my ear opened up and it had been closed up for 2 weeks. All I did was let her sniff my bottle from across the table. So it's really important to get the oils in people's presence. And I know that isn't always possible. And so then you just do the best that you can. You work with what you have. But I believe in sending people samples of, if they can't get to a real class, pick 3 or 4 oils and send little samples. At least they can smell them and have some type of experience.
Yeah, there's actually a rollerball campaign, I think, in Project Broadcast where you can send someone 3 roller balls with oils in it, and then you can follow up with them and ask them what they thought and ask them any questions, tell them what those oils are for. So it ends up being a training, and you're really not investing very much oil because you're putting it in a carrier oil and you're putting it in a fairly inexpensive rollerball, you know, just something like this with a label on it. And that is a way too. So there are so many ways that we can share. But I have to say that when I first started Young Living 21 years ago, I didn't have anybody in this area to teach me how to have a class or how to bring people together in a workshop. And I knew that I wanted to tell people about it. So one of the things that I learned very early on, and I guess I learned it by happenstance, was to never judge who you think might or might not want to come to a class. Never judge. I worked in corporate America at United States Transportation Command here in Belleville, Illinois, and I worked with probably 90% were males, and I invited everyone that I worked with. And I will tell you that they thought I was having an AMSOIL class because I called it an oil awareness session. I just made that up, oil awareness session. And they thought, oh, she's going to teach about AMSOIL. Well, I had guys there that we ended up doing foot rubs on. I only had like maybe less than maybe a half a dozen, 8 or 10 oils. I had a little basket, and they didn't even know what the word intuitively meant. So I couldn't say intuitively grab an oil, one that you're drawn to. So I just passed the basket around. They'd pick one. We'd read about it. I mean, I didn't even have to memorize it in the beginning. We would read about it, and then we would apply it. And then they'd pass their oil around for everybody else. And then we'd go to the next person. So they were actually teaching themselves. And, you know, sometimes you just learn by doing. If I was probably timid in the beginning. But the more I did it, the better I got at it. It's almost like riding a bicycle. So I think this is what we want to leave you with, is that fear is nothing to entertain. You have nothing to be afraid of. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. There's nothing real about what you're feeling. Feel comfortable, feel confident, and work on yourself to get to that point. You know, it's called personal development, and I know the three of us do it all the time. We do it every Monday through Friday at 9:15. If you want to come on a call, we just ask you what you're going to do during the day, and we empower each other, and we lift each other up. We edify each other. That's what being a leader is. We teach you how to be a leader. I want to do a quick shout out. I've got a guy on here that just signed up 2 people today. Can I do a shout out?
Please.
Yeah. Al Carter, congratulations. You got 2 people today. That's awesome. This guy's signing people up left and right. And
just got back in town.
yeah, he's been at my house for the last 4 days. And this is my my niece's significant other. And he's been here, so he gets home and immediately signs up 2 people. So we want to give you a thumbs up, a kudos, and a good job. I hope that this is helping. I really encourage you to do workshops and classes in your home, because you can bring your team together. Don't you find that you get a cohesive team, Dana?
Oh, yeah. And I would just challenge you, if you've never done a workshop, get some people that you know love you and ask them to come over and sit in your living room or come to the park, because you need to practice and you don't want to be nervous in front of strangers. So you'd like to start out with them and just put it on the schedule. Even if it's just 2 people, doesn't matter. Even if it's 1 person, just say, look, I need to practice this so it doesn't feel weird, because this business is really important to me to help me get XYZ goal. And if your friend's truly your friend, they're going to sit with you for an hour and let you practice on them.
Exactly.
Can I say something real quick?
Yes, Sandy, we're going to let you talk.
You know, one of the things that I really found for me to start off training people was to just sit at my kitchen table with a few people to do my first training classes. My kitchen table, I have done so much business at my kitchen table. And I think I probably got to silver just by doing things at my kitchen table. And it's a comfortable place for you, a place you feel at home. So you won't be nearly as nervous. You just put your kid out next to you with your friends out in front of you around the table. You have a few snacks, that's fun. It will be so enjoyable for you to just share from your heart and pass the oils around, and it's just super simple and super fun. So make it that way. I'm kind of blue, so I like fun. So make it fun, you know. And that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Oh, no, I'm so glad that you brought that in, because we weren't thinking in those terms. And really, that's exactly what Mary Young says. Bring them together at the kitchen table, and what you can say at your kitchen table, you cannot say on social media, but you can tell personal stories and experiences at your kitchen table, because these are your family and friends. These are people that you're getting to know, that are your inner circle. And so I really appreciate you sharing that with us. We're gonna really kind of wrap this up tonight, but I'm gonna give you something to think about. First of all, I would like you to put on your calendar the next little workshop or kitchen table training that you are going to have maybe 2 weeks from now. If you're doing one-on-ones and you're signing them up like Al is doing, hey, no worries. Keep on keeping on. Do what works for you. However, if you want to have a little get-together, maybe, you know, this COVID thing is getting under your skin and you just want to have 2 or 3 ladies over to talk to them about something that might help support them through this time. you know, this is the time to put it on your calendar. Do the action. Focus on doing all of the steps. And then, okay, and then I think we're going to talk about ending the conversation next week. What do you think, lady?
Well, that
Yeah.
was that was the strong close, and I kind of covered that.
Oh,
so.
okay. So then I'm just going to read it real quick. How can we end a conversation? I want to give you permission to do something that might be a little outside of your comfort zone. It's okay to end your conversations and your workshop events with a strong close. You do not have to feel guilty to tell someone how to get started with Young Living or to ask them for their information to connect with them again. And remember, your business will not move forward unless you have people join. And yes, that's exactly what Dana was sharing with us. Thank you so much, Dana. While in the checkout line at the store, meeting a friend or talking to a coworker, use some of the forming prompts to learn more about them this next coming week. Ask more questions and listen with more intent. All right, ladies, do you have anything else in closing? We will probably stop the recording, or we could ask questions while we're still recording. What do you think? Answer questions.
Absolutely.
I do want to add one more thing. When you
Okay.
have an event, and when you have an event, or when you have a one-on-one, or when you send somebody some information, always have something to invite them to. You need to always have the next thing on your schedule so that you can say, hey, we're going to be talking about hormones next Tuesday at such and such, or on this Zoom or whatever. And always have something to invite them to come to again so that you are building that relationship.
And you're keeping it in the forefront of their mind. That's why we like to have these classes. And we encourage you to invite your new signups to the classes because it keeps it in the forefront of their mind. Or even our text training on Project Broadcast. If you need them to get some training on their new kit, make sure you go to your upline and say, hey, can you make sure that Michelle is getting her, information on her new kit? And we'd be glad to do that for you. So follow up and have something going on for them all the time, like Dana said.
Well, and another thing is that they also feel like they're going to be supported long-term because you have these things. Like you always, like the first Monday of every month, you have this thing, and they know that they can always jump in on those. And so they're not going to just get this kit of oils and not have any idea how to use it and be weird about it. They're going to feel confident knowing that you have them covered on that. So yeah, sorry, I'll stop now.
No, that's good. Sandy?
Well, I'd like to add just one more thing. Everything about what you're doing with your workshops is teaching about the lifestyle. So if you're going to have something at your home, serve healthy snacks because it's part of the lifestyle. Have some Thieves foaming hand cleaner in your bathroom. It's part of the lifestyle. Just some suggestions or make your own. If you're brand new and you haven't been on Essential Rewards very often, and we talked about being a product of the product, then do a DIY with everybody at the table, or tell them you've made your own Thieves cleaner and it's in the bathroom. Try it out. It's all about the lifestyle because you want them to consume products every month. And so by you offering these products at your home or telling them about them, you will get them intrigued, and also they will want to have those healthy products in their home. And that's how they'll know what they need every month after month. And that is how you build your business.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Do we have any questions?
I just want to say thank you all for joining us tonight.
Sandy, were there any questions in the chat that we needed to address, or did you get them all?
Somebody wanted to know what a 31 bag is, so I told them what that was.
Melanie
just
has
a couple little things, and I answered what I saw, and I think let's see.
When we're done, I have a question about flash sale.
Oh, yes, she does. Okay.
You want to unmute yourself?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so Christina sent a couple things about flash sales. One was a week or two ago and I couldn't pull it up. but then it eventually got on there. And so then I noticed the flash sale today. And when I go look on the website, I never see it. So I guess I don't know if I'm not far enough along or I'm not looking in the right place.
Okay, so every Wednesday, Young Living has a flash sale, and it usually ends like at midnight Mountain Time on that day, right, Sandy? And so I honestly did not, I've been so busy.
Yeah.
Today, I didn't see the flash sale today. Did anybody see the flash sale today? Oh, that was yesterday. I'm sorry, that was yesterday.
Well, it was yesterday. I did, and I was so grateful. Justice Plus was on that flash sale yesterday.
Oh, that's
and I
been
think
out of
most of
stock.
anybody who knows.
So Melanie,
Yes.
when
So
you-
there are still some things.
Melanie, when you
I
see the
think
flash,
there's still some things out there that are on the flash sale.
there's still some things out there on the flash sale. So when you get the flash sale on your text from me,
Mhm.
my texts go out automatically, and I make sure that you get the flash sale. I wish I would have known about that flash sale. Then all you do is you go out to your Young Living
Well,
shop. Sandy, are you trying to say something?
okay. It's under What's New Wednesday.
Okay.
So when
that's
you
what I was
go
wondering.
to it's under What's New Wednesday. That we've coined it the flash sale. So
Okay.
but
Okay.
that's what it's called when you're looking at it. It's What's New Wednesday, and it usually stays up for 48 hours.
Okay.
So there may still be some product available.
There is some. I think I saw some today.
Because what they
It's
do,
Justice Plus is still.
a lot of times it'll say while supplies last.
Okay.
Like, what was it? 2 weeks ago, they had the welcome home starter kit with a diffuser. That flash sale was supposed to go until the 30th of June, and they sold out in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So, when you get that flash sale from me on your text, just react to it right away. That's what I've got to say. If it's a product that you want. A lot of times they'll have BOGOs. You buy one and you get the second one for free, or the second one for half price. But many times they are bringing back oils that have been discontinued for one day. So they've got enough oil, they can do a flash sale, and then it's over.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Sandy, for telling me what the flash sale
By
was.
the way, you're welcome. I just want to make one more point about the Wednesday, what we're coining the flash sale. It's the What's New Wednesday sale. It starts in the Midwest at 2. I think we can start ordering online at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. And it's every Wednesday. There's something new out there every Wednesday for you to look at. So keep a lookout and get ready to watch for those sales on Wednesdays. Thanks.
Yeah, because when they're gone, they're gone. Any other great questions? Love
It's
that
over.
question. I learned from that question. No? All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on tonight. Next Tuesday, we have a Spanish class on Monday if you're interested. Let me know if you're interested in a Spanish class, because I'll give you a different link. But next Tuesday, which is July 14th, we're going to talk about aging gracefully with Young Living. So that's next Tuesday, Aging Gracefully with Young Living. And then we're going to continue this series on next Thursday night. Do either of you ladies have any classes that you are advertising right now?
I do not.
Okay, well, all right, so we got a
Yeah.
Spanish class on Monday night, a Tuesday night, Aging Gracefully, and our business class on Thursday night. We also have our call at 9:15 Central Standard Time. We invite anyone to come on our short 30-minute call. We just, it's a Zoom call, and I think, Dana, you could probably type your Zoom number, which is her phone number, by the way. That's the Zoom number to join if you're interested in talking to us in the morning. Seeing our beautiful sweaty faces because I've usually coming back from my 5-mile walk. You don't even have to be dressed to be on this call. We just love you the way you are. And what else do we have going on? That's it.
No, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. We
Right.
have Rise.
Yes. So that's something else. And Rise is on Christina Campbell YL Rise. That's a Facebook page. We encourage you to join and start. We're already on day 4. We're on day 4 tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, we're on day 4 tomorrow. But if you download the Rise workbook from Young Living, you can, it's in the back office, in the virtual office. You can catch up very quickly. You know, just put your nose to the grindstone and get her done.